All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving deep into the Anvil and the mirror word. This is a really powerful allegory about what it truly means to transform yourself. We're talking about a journey to the very core of the self, a place where your past stops being a prison and becomes the raw material for creating something entirely new.
So let's start with the absolute heart of this whole thing. This quote, it's not just a nice phrase, it's the formula, the central code for what we're about to see. It's about this radical act of looking at your entire history, all of it, the good, the bad, the things that just happened to you, and having the power to say, yeah, I chose that. That was me. That's the definition of redemption we're working with here. So our hero, the initiate, he's heading into his final test. But this isn't some dungeon with traps and monsters. No. This is a metaphysical space, a deep, suffocating place called the sanctum of sovereignty. Imagine a forge that's not powered by fire, but by the raw friction of a single soul pushing back against existence itself. Okay, so this slide really paints the picture. That primordial heat isn't about temperature. It's the intense pressure of becoming something new. And right in the middle of it all, you have the anvil of the reverse voice. This is the core metaphor of the entire journey. It's an altar where you can literally reforge your own past, hammering that passive, accidental "it was" into an active, powerful "I will." You know, that crushing atmosphere in the sanctum? It's more than just spooky darkness. It's a real philosophical concept called the anstos, or the check. The easiest way to think about it is like a hard wall that reality pushes against you. And it's only by pushing back against that wall that you become aware of your own strength, your own freedom. In this story, that wall is time itself, the crushing idea that the past is a done deal and you can't change it. And in this total, crushing silence, the real battle begins. But it's not a fistfight. It's a philosophical showdown, a dialogue between two completely opposite ways of seeing reality, a battle for the initiate's very soul. So you've got these two voices clashing. On one side, there's the voice of the not I. This is the voice of the outside world, of cause and effect, of determinism. It's basically saying you're a product of your past. You can't change it, just submit. But rising up against it is the voice of the I. This is the sovereign self, and it screams back, no, I am the source of my reality. My choice right now can change the meaning of everything that's ever happened. And this external voice, this idea that you're just a product of your past, the source material calls it dogmatist logic. It's a worldview that sees reality as a fixed box, and all of us are just things rattling around inside it. The whole point of this voice is to crush the initiate's spirit, to convince him that he's nothing more than the sum of his history. So how do you even begin to fight against, well, reality itself? The initiate realizes he can't, not with his old tools anyway. To withstand this kind of pressure, he first has to let go of the very thing that got him this far, the weight of his own history and duties. And we're not just talking about dropping a backpack here. This is a total identity shift. See, his whole life, his whole journey, he's been the camel, faithfully carrying this leaden weight of memories, duties, and all the thou shouts his culture loaded onto him. But right here, on the edge of creation, he just shrugs it all off. He lets those ancient pillars of history just crash to the ground. And he stands there, unburdened, naked, ready for what the source calls the original activity of the spirit, which is to create, without asking for permission from the past. Okay, so the weight is gone. He's standing there totally free. And on the anvil, something new appears. It's not a sword or a shield, nothing like that. It's something far more dangerous and way more powerful. It's a concept, a single glowing ember called the mirror word. This is the master key, the thing that breaks the whole system. The mirror word is a palindrome, a word that's the same forwards and backwards, like level or race car. It represents a whole new grammar, a way of seeing that says time isn't a one-way street, it's a circle. The end connects back to the beginning. This is the ultimate weapon of the artist-philosopher, and to wield it, you have to be willing to feel the searing pain of some very dangerous wisdom. So now he's armed with this new perspective, this dangerous new weapon. He's not just defending himself anymore. Oh no, he is ready to go on the attack. He's ready to not just resist the world, but to forge an entirely new one. And he just lets it out, this incredible roar of defiance that speaks as the absolute I. He's no longer a passive object in the world's game. He's declaring that the world itself is nothing more than a stage he has built for his own overcoming. That is an absolutely sovereign statement. And then comes the final blow. He strikes the anvil and shouts the three most powerful words in this whole story. Thus I willed it. Boom. That's the moment of redemption. He doesn't change what happened in the past, he claims it. He takes the random, messy story of his life and declares it a deliberate work of art that he created. And this isn't just some internal pep talk. The echoes from that command are so powerful they literally shatter the sanctum around him. The metaphysical prison that was built on the logic of cause and effect just crumbles. He literally broke the reality that was holding him back.
So what just happened was a complete metamorphosis. Think about it. The camel, the beast of burden, the one who just carries what he's told, he died on that anvil. And from his ashes rises the lion, the king of the beasts. The lion doesn't carry anyone's burdens. It hunts for its own freedom. It's a predator that looks to the future, not a beast anchored to the past. And this new being, the lion, is defined by what it asserts, not by what it carries. It has freedom from the herd. It wields the sacred no, the power to reject duties imposed from the outside. But just as important, it has the sacred yes, an unconditional affirmation of its own existence, its own will, its own values. And with that, the first great transformation is done. But here's the kicker. This entire grueling journey through the cave, it was just the training montage. The initiate is now a lion, and he's ready to leave, not to go back to his old life, but to face an even bigger enemy. He is now ready to roar this newfound sovereignty against the great dragon of the established order. See, this whole trial was about finding power inside. The next battle is about projecting that power outward against the collective thou shalt of the entire world. And that leaves us with one final crucial question to chew on. What exactly is this great dragon?